Welcome to the Tuesday online meeting of Better Living Group. My name is Akash and I'm eager to live a better life. Currently, we are reading from the book Total Makeover, and this is the Better Living with Better Finances meeting of the Better Living Group. And we are reading from the page number 42 from the myth Leasing the Car. Text to read will be shared during the meeting. However, we'll still encourage you to have a hard copy of this book. Group's preamble. The primary purpose of this group is to carry its message to a person who is eager to live a better life. We alter our lives with balanced living. There are no fees or dues for the membership. Guiding principles. Please remember to mute your phone when not speaking. This is a 45-minute speaking. We will read for about 30 minutes, followed by the sharing of the text. No cross-sharing and no direct advice addressing members by their name. In your shares, keep your share to yourself and to your learnings only. I'm going to start the reading. Myth. Leasing a car is what sophisticated people do. You should lease things that go down in value and take the tax advantage. Truth. Customer advocates, noted experts, and good calculators will confirm you that car lease is the most expensive way to operate a vehicle. Customers reports, smart money magazines, and my calculator tell me that leasing a car is the worst possible way to acquire a vehicle. In fact, you are renting to own. The cost of capital, which is the interest rate, is extremely high. Most new car dealer this year's will be flea. I mean a lease. They are bad. Sorry, that's my impression of sheep getting fleeced. The auto industry lobbyists are so powerful that the law does not require full lender disclosure. The industry argues that you are merely renting, which you are, so they shouldn't be required to show you the actual effective interest rates. The Federal Trade Commission requires a truth in lending statement when you buy a car or get a mortgage, however, not on a lease. So you don't know what you are paying unless you are very good with the calculator. Having seen hundreds of lease agreements entered into people, I have counseled my financial calculator confirms that the average interest rate is 14%. Most new car dealers this year will be a flea. I mean lease. Shouldn't you lease or rent things that go down in value? Not necessarily. And the math does not work on a car for sure. Follow me through this example. When you rent a car with a value of 22,000 for 3 years, and when you turn it in at the end of that 3 years lease, the car is worth 10,000. Someone has to cover 12,000 loss. You are not stupid. So you go to the General Motors and say, aren't auto giants are going to put together a plan to lose money. Your lease payment is designed to cover the loss in value. 12,000 spread over 36 months is equal to 333 per month, plus provide profit, the interest you pay. Where did you get a deal in that? You didn't. On the top of that, there is a charge of 10 to 17 cents per mile for going over the allotted miles, and the penalties everyone turning in a lease has an experience for excessive wear and tear, which takes into account every little nick, dent, carpet tear, smudge, or smell. You end up writing a large check just to walk away after renting your car. The whole idea of the back-end penalties is twofold: to get you to lease another one so you can painlessly roll the gotchas in the new lease, and to make sure the car company makes the money. Smart Money magazine quotes that the National Auto Dealers Association as stating the average new car purchased for cash makes dealer up and profit of $82. When the dealer can get you to finance with them, They sell the financing contract and make an average of $775 per car. However, when they get you to fleece the car, the dealer can sell the fleece to the local bank or GMAC, Ford Motors Credit, Toyota Credit, etc. for an average of $1,300. The typical car dealers make their money in the finance office and the shop, not in the sales of the new car. Car fleecing is exploding because dealers know it is their largest profit center. We live in a culture that quit asking how much and instead ask how much down and how much a month. When you look at only the monthly outlay, then you will always fleece because it most utmost always costs less down and less a month. However, in the long run, it is much more expensive. Once again, the red-faced kid bought something he could not afford, using an unwise method, and then attempted to justify his stupidity. That red-faced stuff won't work when you want a total money makeover. Craig called my radio to argue about leasing because his CPA said he could lease a car. Craig owned his own business and thought the tax write-off when his business owned the car made fleecing smart. Craig had the 20K cash to buy a 1-year-old car just like the one he wanted. However, instead he was fleece a new 30,000 one. He missed two important parts. First, 98% of the fleecing is done on a new car, which rapidly loses value. Not a wise business decision. Second, creating an unneeded business expense for the tax write-off is a bad math. Let's say that Craig fleeced a car for 416 per month. That is 5,000 per month and use it 100% for the business. When you have a tax write-off of 5,000, you don't pay tax on that money. When Craig don't have the 5,000 write-off, he would pay taxes on that 5,000, which could be about 1,500 in taxes. So Craig's CPA suggestion that he send the car company 5,000 to keep from sending to the government and 15,000, 1,500 sounds as that he can't add. Plus, Craig now is responsible for a 30,000 car that is dropping in value instead of a 20,000 car that took the worst drop in the value drop during the first year. My company owns my car. We are able to straight line depreciation those cars or write off the mileages. When you drive in inexpensive cars in your business and put high mileage on them, take the mileage deduction. When you, like me, drive expensive cars, however, do not put many miles on them, take the straight line depreciation. Both tax deductions are available to you without having a stupid car payment. When you don't own a business and don't understand everything I just said about tax write-offs, etc., don't worry. Just know that a wise business owner, you don't want to fleece a car. Would you like to take it ahead?
Yeah, sure. But I wanted to know what is fleecing a car. I didn't get the meaning.
It's just a fancy renting a car.
Okay, okay, fine. I'll take it forward. Myth. You can get a good deal on a new car at 0% interest. Truth. A new car loses 60% of its value in the very first 4 hours. That isn't 0%. We have discussed the new car purchase in its various forms for the last several pages. No, you can't afford a new car unless you are a millionaire and can therefore afford to lose thousands of dollars all in the name of the neat new car smell. A good used car that is less than 3 years old is as reliable or more reliable than a new car. A new $28,000 car will lose about $17,000 of value in the first 4 hours you own it. That is almost $100 per week in lost value. To understand what I'm talking about, open your window on your way to work once a weekend and throw out a $100 bill. The average millionaire drives a 2-year-old car with no payments. The average millionaire drives a 2-year-old car with no payments. He or simply bought it. The average millionaire is unwilling to take the loss that a new car dishes out. That is how they became millionaires. I'm not saying you will never drive a brand new car, but until you have so much money, you can lose big bucks and not notice you can't afford the luxury. The car dealer will tell you that you are buying someone else's problem. Then why do they sell used cars? Wouldn't that be morally wrong? The truth is that most slightly used cars have gotten all kinks worked out of them and were not traded because they were bad cars. Since almost 80% of the new cars this year's will be fleeced, more than likely you are buying a car that came off a lease. My last two car purchases were 1 and a 2 year lease turn-ins with low miles. If you understand what I'm saying about this huge loss in value, you now realize that 0% interest is not really no cost. While the money to borrow is not technically costing you, you are losing so much in value that you have still taken 0%, however, is used quite often by guys, seldom girls, to rationalize their need for some new wheels. So even though the interest rate is attractive, pass it up because the whole transaction still means throwing $100 bill out the window each week. Some people want to buy a new car for the warranty. If you lost